Would you risk everything for a child who isn't yours, in a country that isn't your home? Min-Seo Park never thought she'd face that question until a winter night in Seoul changed her life forever. The temperature hovers at -8°C. Ice glazes the Han River like polished glass. It's 1:47 a.m. on a Friday in late January, and Min-Seo's shift at Asen Medical Center ended 30 minutes ago, but she stayed to finish patient notes. Her feet ache. Her scrubs smell like antiseptic and exhaustion. She's pulling on her grandmother's quilted coat, the one with the deep pockets that still smells faintly of her Halmianese jasmine perfume, when she hears it. A sound that doesn't belong to the winter wind. Crying, small, desperate, breaking. Min-Seo hesitates. Her apartment in Gangnam is waiting. Her bed is calling. But her grandmother's voice echoes in her mind, spoken in Korean the day before she passed. When you hear a child's tears and turn away, you abandon your own soul. She pushes through the emergency exit into the brutal cold. Snow falls thick and fast. The wind cuts like knives. That's when she sees him. A child, maybe 4 years old, huddled behind the hospital dumpsters wearing thin pajamas covered in cartoon characters. His skin is dark, beautiful, but turning ashen from the cold. His bare feet are pressed against the frozen concrete. His small arms wrapped around himself, shaking violently. When their eyes meet, Min-Seo sees something that will haunt her forever. Not fear exactly, but acceptance. Like he's already decided this is where his story ends. "Ijia," she says softly in Korean, then switches to English. "Hey, sweetheart. I'm Min-Seo. I'm a nurse. You're freezing." He doesn't speak, just stares with eyes too ancient for his small face. Min-Seo sheds her grandmother's coat and wraps it around his tiny body. He weighs almost nothing, all sharp angles and fragile bones. She lifts him into her arms, feeling his heart hammering against her chest like a terrified bird. Inside, the warmth hits them both. The boy's shaking intensifies as his body tries to process the temperature change. Nurse Ji-hoon looks up from the desk, his expression shifting from surprise to alarm. "Min-Seo SSI, what? I found him outside. Alone. Hypothermic. I need exam room for now." Ji-hoon reaches for the phone. "I'll call the police and child services." "Not yet." Something in her voice stops him. "Let me stabilize him first. Please." He nods slowly. 20 minutes. Then I have to make the call. In the exam room, Min-Seo works with practiced efficiency. Warm blankets from the heating cabinet. Heated for fluids. Careful monitoring of his core temperature. The boy's fingers clutch something against his chest. A small silver pendant on a leather cord. African symbols etched into the metal, intricate and meaningful. She doesn't try to take it from him. "Can you tell me your name?" she asks in English, keeping her voice soft. His lips move, but no sound emerges. She checks his vitals. Temperature dangerously low, 33.2 degrees Celsius. Heart rate elevated. No visible injuries, but he flinches when she touches his left arm. Old pain. Old fear. Someone hurt this child before tonight. Min-Seo talks to him while she works, switching between Korean and English without thinking. "You're safe here. Gwenchina. Nobody's going to hurt you. I've got you." His grip on the pendant slowly relaxes. She catches a glimpse of English letters engraved on the back. The letter M. As his body warms and his breathing evens out, Min-Seo pulls a stool close to the bed. Protocol says call the authorities immediately. But something in her gut, the same instinct that made her a good nurse, tells her to wait. Her grandmother's voice again in Korean. "Sometimes the system breaks people worse than they were already broken." "You look like you've been fighting for a long time," she whispers in English. "How about you rest tonight? Get warm, get safe. Tomorrow we'll figure out what comes next. Algesio? Okay?" After a long moment, he nods. Min-Seo watches him fall into exhausted sleep and makes a promise she doesn't fully understand yet. "I won't let you disappear." 5 days pass. Nobody claims him. Min-Seo spends those days making calls to the Korean police, to child welfare services, to the American embassy. The authorities run his description through every database. No missing children matching his profile. No frantic families searching. No American tourists reporting a lost child. It's like he materialized out of the Seoul winter itself. On the 5th day, a caseworker named Kim Young-mi sits across from Min-Seo in the hospital cafeteria. She's in her 50s, kind but worn down by a system stretched too thin. "Here's our situation," Young-mi says, stirring sugar into her coffee and speaking in Korean. "The orphanages are completely full. International adoption processes take months, sometimes years. He can't stay at the hospital. Administration is already asking questions. What are his options?" Min-Seo asks in Korean. "Temporary group home until something opens up." Young-mi sees Min-Seo's face and sighs. "I know it's not ideal, but those are our options." "What about temporary kinship care? Emergency guardianship?" Young-mi looks at her carefully, switching to English. "That requires a willing guardian who can pass background checks. Do you know someone?" Min-Seo takes a breath. The words come out in English. "I can." Young-mi's eyebrows rise. "Mississippi Park, that's a serious commitment. And complicated, you're not family, not even the same race. The bureaucracy alone. I know what it means." Min-Seo leans forward, speaking Korean now for emphasis. "I was raised by my grandmother after my parents died. I know what it means when one person decides to show up. I'm not letting this child disappear into the system." Young-mi studies her for a long moment, then nods. "Horacio. All right, let's start the paperwork." 4 hours later, Min-Seo's approved for emergency temporary guardianship through special humanitarian provisions. By sunset, she's buckling the boy into her small Hyundai. He sits in the back seat, still clutching that silver pendant, still silent. Through the rearview mirror, Min-Seo watches him looking out at Seoul's lights reflecting off the snow. "You need a name," she says gently in English. "Something I can call you, just temporarily, until we find out who you really are." He looks down at the pendant in his small hands. She catches a glimpse of it in the mirror. Those African symbols and that single English letter M. "How about Marcus? Just for now. Would that be okay?" He meets her eyes in the mirror. After a moment, he nods. "Marcus it is then," Min-Seo says, smiling at him. "Welcome to your temporary home, Marcus." But Min-Seo knows she can't keep him in Korea indefinitely. The visa situation is complicated. The bureaucracy is overwhelming. And deep down, she knows this child is American, probably has family somewhere searching for him. After 2 months of navigating Korean and American immigration systems, meeting with embassy officials, and fighting through mountains of paperwork, Min-Seo makes a decision that will change both their lives. She applies for a nursing position in Chicago. She has distant cousins there, enough of a connection to make the visa work. She applies for special humanitarian provisions to bring Marcus with her as an emergency foster placement with intentions to adopt. The American authorities are surprisingly cooperative. A Black American child found abandoned in Seoul. No family claiming him. They want him home, want him safe. They fast-track the paperwork. 3 months after finding Marcus in the snow, Min-Seo boards a plane to Chicago with a 4-year-old boy holding her hand. Her apartment in Lincoln Square is modest, 700 square feet, but it's warm and clean. 1 bedroom, which she gives to Marcus. A couch that pulls out where she'll sleep. A small kitchen where she teaches him to eat Korean food alongside American food. She shows him around slowly, speaking a mix of Korean and English. "This is the bathroom. Hot shower whenever you want. And here, Yogi, this is your room now." The room is small with a window overlooking the Chicago street. A twin bed with a blue comforter. Simple but safe. "I'll get you proper clothes tomorrow," Min-Seo tells him. "But tonight, this should work." She gives him one of her oversized shirts, a soft gray thing that hangs to his knees. He looks impossibly small in it. That first night, Min-Seo makes bibimbap and grilled cheese. A bridge between their worlds. She sets the table carefully. 2 bowls, 2 plates, 2 cups of milk. She lights a candle she usually saves for power outages. Marcus emerges from the bedroom slowly, tentatively. He climbs into the chair. It's a little too tall for him, his feet dangling, and stares at the food. Steam rises from the rice bowl. The vegetables are colorful. The cheese is melted and golden. He looks at it like he's forgotten what it means to have someone prepare a meal just for him. Or maybe he never knew at all. Miogio, Min-Seo says gently, then in English, eat, it's okay. He picks up the spoon with trembling hands, takes one small bite, then another. Then he's eating faster, hunched protectively over his bowl. Min-Seo doesn't say anything about his desperate hunger. She just eats her own meal slowly, giving him space. Days become weeks. March becomes April. Cherry blossoms bloom in the park. The weather warms. And slowly, so slowly Min-Seo almost doesn't notice it happening, Marcus emerges from his silence. He starts saying thank you when she makes breakfast, gamawoyo in Korean, then thank you in English. He nods when she asks questions. One morning, she finds him humming quietly while he colors at the kitchen table. The social worker completes the home visits, approves everything. The background checks come back clean. Temporary guardianship extends to 6 months, then 12. Marcus starts drawing. Min-Seo buys him colored pencils and sketchbooks, and he fills page after page. Houses with families, parks with children playing, trees full of birds, safe things, warm things. Min-Seo teaches him to read in both English and basic Korean. Every night after her shift at Northwestern Memorial Hospital, no matter how tired, they sit together and work through words. Cat, dog, run, jump. Goyang-ai, gi twaida. He learns quickly. This boy is brilliant, absorbing everything like a sponge. By summer, he's reading simple books independently. One evening in late August, almost 7 months after she found him, Marcus looks up from his drawing of a treehouse. Golden evening light streams through the window. "Iyama," he says quietly. Min-Seo freezes at the sink, her hands covered in soap suds. For a moment, she thinks she misheard. The water runs. The refrigerator hums. She turns slowly, her heart pounding. "What did you say, sweetheart?" He looks at her with those dark eyes that have witnessed too much. His voice is small, uncertain, switching to English. "Can I call you that? Mom?" Something cracks open in Min-Seo's chest. Not painful, but like ice breaking after a long winter. She crosses the room quickly, dries her hands on a towel, and kneels in front of him. "Yuri," she whispers, pulling him into her arms. Then in English, "Yes, baby. Yes, you can call me that." He wraps his small arms around her neck and holds on like he's afraid she'll disappear. Min-Seo closes her eyes and lets the tears come. For months, she's been strong, professional, doing what needed doing. But this moment unravels her completely. This child, this boy she found in the Seoul snow, is choosing her. Not because of blood or obligation, but because of something deeper. Because she showed up. Because she stayed. That night, after Marcus is asleep, Min-Seo sits at her kitchen table and really examines the silver pendant he finally let her clean properly. The engraving is clearer now. African symbols. Adinkra symbols from Ghana. She discovers through research. Symbols representing strength, protection, and family. And beneath them, in Roman letters, Malcolm. On the back of the pendant, barely visible, is another symbol. A lion's head, proud and fierce. She turns it over in her hands, feeling the weight. This pendant is valuable, real silver, expertly crafted. The kind that comes from wealth, from family legacy, from a world she doesn't understand. She should research it, should try to discover what that lion symbol means, what organization or family it represents. But she's not ready because once she starts looking, everything might change. So she places the pendant in her jewelry box for safekeeping and closes the lid. For now, he's Marcus, her son. That has to be enough. If you're feeling moved by this story, subscribe. These are the journeys we take together. Stories about the families we find, not just the ones we're born into. For years pass like water through open fingers. Marcus turns 8 that August. He chooses chocolate cake with vanilla frosting. Min-Seo invites 5 kids from his 2nd grade class and Mrs. Kowalski from downstairs, who bakes him cookies every Saturday. They've built something real together. Small but solid, like a house built on bedrock. Min-Seo works steady hours at Northwestern Memorial now. It means she's there when Marcus gets off the school bus. Dinner together every evening, sometimes Korean food, sometimes American, usually a blend of both. Homework help and bedtime stories in 2 languages. Marcus thrives. He's grown 6 inches. His face has filled out, lost that haunted hollow look. He laughs now, really laughs with his whole body. He has friends, kids of all backgrounds who don't see him as different, just as Marcus. He brings home artwork that Min-Seo hangs on the refrigerator with pride. He's learning Taekwondo at the Korean Community Center. He calls her Yama at home and Mom at school, switching between languages as easily as breathing. She's almost convinced herself this can last forever, that they can keep living in this peaceful bubble. Then everything shatters on a Monday in late November. A man appears at the hospital during Min-Seo's lunch break. Tall, expensive suit, dark skin, carefully controlled expression. He doesn't ask questions at the desk, just leaves a manila envelope with the receptionist and walks away. The receptionist, Maria, finds Min-Seo in the break room. Her face is serious. Min-Seo, there was a man here asking about a nurse who worked at Asan Medical Center in Seoul 4 years ago. The night a child was brought in from the cold. Min-Seo's blood turns to ice. Mwora? What did you tell him? Nothing. But he left this. She hands Min-Seo the envelope. Don't open it here. That night, after Marcus is asleep, Min-Seo opens it with trembling hands. Inside, $20,000 in cash. Crisp hundreds still bound in bank wrappers. More money than she makes in 5 months. And beneath the money, a business card. Heavy stock, expensive. No name, no title. Just a phone number embossed in gold ink and a symbol in the corner. A lion's head, identical to the one on Marcus's pendant. Min-Seo's hands start shaking. She knows the symbol. She's been looking at it for 4 years. She opens her laptop and types in English. Lion symbol, African American Organization, Chicago. The results flood her screen. Various logos, cultural symbols, fraternity marks. Then, buried on the 3rd page, a news article from 5 years ago. Federal investigation continues into alleged criminal enterprise. She clicks. The article describes the Pride, an African American organization with suspected connections to racketeering and protection operations, operating in Chicago for over 2 decades. The alleged leader, Malcolm Darius Carter, age 34. Min-Seo keeps searching. Then, dated 4 years and 3 months ago, just weeks before she found Marcus in Seoul, she finds it. American family attacked during Seoul vacation. Wife killed, child missing. There's a photo. A man in a dark suit being escorted by both Korean and American federal agents. His face is partially visible, strong jaw, intense eyes, dignified bearing. On his hand, a silver ring engraved with a lion's head. The article continues, Malcolm Carter, prominent Chicago businessman under federal investigation, reported his wife and 4-year-old son missing following a suspected attack at their Seoul hotel. The wife, Keisha Carter, was found deceased. The child, Malcolm Carter Jr., remains missing and is presumed deceased by both Korean and American authorities. The attack is believed to be related to internal conflict within Carter's organization. Below the text is another photo, a professional family portrait. A beautiful black woman with kind eyes, and a small boy with serious dark eyes and the same nose, the same chin as Marcus. The caption reads, Malcolm Carter Jr., age 4, missing and presumed deceased. The face in the photo is Marcus's face, for years younger, rounder, but unmistakably him. Min-Seo's vision blurs with tears. Her hands shake. My son is the child of a crime boss. My son is presumed dead. My son has a father who's been looking for him. She closes the laptop and sits in the dark kitchen, her head in her hands. If she contacts this man, she could lose Marcus. If she doesn't and he finds them anyway, what then? After a long time, she goes to Marcus's room. He's sleeping peacefully. His drawings cover the walls. Happy families, safe houses, sunshine. All the things he never had before. Gioldi Ania, she whispers in Korean. Never. No matter who your father is, no matter what world you came from, I won't let anyone take you back into darkness. The next morning, Min-Seo calls Detective James Washington. He's a federal investigator who sometimes consults at the hospital. She's seen him around for years. He's in his mid-40s, intelligent eyes, tired but honest. Detective Washington, this is Min-Seo Park from Northwestern Memorial. I need advice. Off the record. They meet at a diner in Bronzeville. Washington orders coffee and waits. Min-Seo slides the business card across the table, speaking carefully in her accented English. Someone left this for me with money. A lot of money. And I think it's connected to the child I've been raising. Washington picks up the card. His expression doesn't change, but his jaw tightens. Where did you get this? A man left it at the hospital. 4 years ago, I found a little boy abandoned in Seoul, in the snow. I've been his legal guardian since. And I think his biological father might be Malcolm Carter. Washington is quiet for a long moment. Then he looks at her directly. Mississippi Park, if what you're saying is true, you and this child are in more danger than you understand. I know. No, you don't. He leans forward. Malcolm Jr.'s disappearance wasn't random. It was an inside job. Someone within the Pride organization orchestrated the attack that killed his mother in Seoul. They were trying to eliminate Carter's entire family line. If they discover the boy survived, they'll finish what they started. His voice drops. They'll come for both of you, and they won't leave witnesses. Washington pulls out his own card and slides it across. My advice. Don't contact anyone using that number. Don't acknowledge the money. Keep living normally. If Malcolm Carter wants to find you, he will. Your best protection right now is that they only suspect. But the money, the card. Someone knows where I work. Someone suspects. That's different from certainty. He meets her eyes. Call me if anything changes. If anyone contacts you, if you feel unsafe. I can't promise federal protection. The politics are complicated. But I'll do what I can to keep you both alive. Min-Seo pockets his card with shaking hands. As she drives home through the bright winter afternoon, she makes a decision. She won't call that number. She won't reach out. She'll keep Marcus safe, keep living their quiet life, and pray whoever's watching leaves them alone. But deep in her gut, she knows the truth. The storm she thought they'd weathered is just beginning. 5 more years pass. Marcus is 13 now, 8th grade, honor roll every semester. He plays basketball, shooting guard, getting better every season. He's grown tall, almost as tall as Min-Seo now, all long limbs and adolescent awkwardness. On Sundays, he helps her make kimchi and bulgogi. He speaks Korean fluently now, switching between languages without thinking. He has friends from every background. He has teachers who say he's gifted in art and history. He still has occasional nightmares, but they're rare. He knows Min-Seo isn't his biological mother. They've had that conversation as he got older, but he calls her Yama without hesitation. She's his mother in every way that matters. They've built a life. Fragile maybe, but real. And Min-Seo has let herself believe they're safe. That 5 years of silence means whoever left that money has moved on. She's catastrophically wrong. It happens in mid-December. Marcus is 13 and a half, and Min-Seo has saved for 2 years to make this trip happen. We're going to Seoul for Christmas, she tells him over dinner one evening. I want to show you Korea properly, where I grew up, where I found you. Marcus's eyes light up. Really? Like, actually to Korea? Yuri, really? You should see where your story began. Plus, my cousins want to meet you. You need to eat real Korean food, not my cooking. Marcus laughs. Your cooking is great, Iyama. Jiajitmal. You're just being nice. They land at Incheon Airport 10 days before Christmas. Seoul is covered in snow. The city transformed into a winter wonderland. Min-Seo shows Marcus everything, the palace, the markets, the neighborhood where she grew up. They visit her grandmother's grave, and she tells him stories in Korean, then translates to English. She would have loved you, Min-Seo says, placing flowers on the grave. She always said family isn't about blood. It's about who shows up. Marcus squeezes her hand. They spend a week in Seoul. Marcus practices his Korean with her cousins, eats street food, experiences the city through fresh eyes. On their 8th day, they visit Asan Medical Center. Min-Seo wants to show him where his story truly began. "This is where I worked," she tells him, standing outside in the cold. "And over there, Gyeogi, behind those dumpsters. That's where I found you." Marcus stares at the spot, quiet. "I don't remember any of it." "Gwenchina, that's okay. You were so small, so cold." She pulls him close. "But you survived. You're the strongest person I know." They're walking back toward the subway station, Min-Seo pointing out landmarks. When it happens, a black SUV pulls up beside them. 2 men step out, big, professional, wearing dark suits despite the cold. One of them addresses Marcus in English. "Malcolm." Marcus freezes. Min-Seo immediately steps in front of him, her hand reaching for her phone. "Jongsin Cheria," she snaps in Korean. "Get away from us." Then in English, "Leave us alone." But the second man pulls out a photograph and holds it up. "This is your father, Malcolm Carter. He's been looking for you for 9 years. Marcus stares at the photo. Even from behind him, Min-Seo can feel him trembling. "Don't look at it," Min-Seo says urgently. "Bojima, we're leaving." "He just wants to talk," the first man says. "No harm, just talk. He's waited so long." "Mom," Marcus whispers, and his voice cracks. "That man, he looks like me." Min-Seo's heart shatters. Because Marcus is right. Even from here, she can see it. The same eyes, the same bone structure. "Please," the second man says, his voice gentler. "Just come meet him. One conversation. If you want to leave after, you can leave." "And we," Min-Seo says. "No, we're not going anywhere." "It's okay, Iyama," Marcus says quietly. His hand finds hers. "I want to know. I need to know." "Marcus, I'm 13. I'm not a little kid anymore." He looks at her, and his eyes are so mature it breaks her heart. "You taught me that running from truth doesn't make it disappear. You taught me to be brave." Min-Seo wants to scream, wants to run, wants to grab him and never let go. But she sees the determination in his face. And she knows, she's always known, that this moment would come eventually. "Algesio," she whispers. "All right." Then in English, "But I'm coming with you. Narangachi." Together, the men nod. "He expected you would." They ride in the SUV through Seoul. Min-Seo holds Marcus's hand the entire time, her other hand on her phone with Detective Washington's number ready. They arrive at a high-end hotel in Gangnam, the Shilla, one of the most expensive hotels in Seoul. The men lead them through a private entrance, up an elevator to the penthouse level. They stop at a door marked Presidential Suite. One of the men knocks. A voice from inside, deep and resonant. "Come in." The door opens. The suite is beautiful floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking Seoul's glittering skyline, elegant furniture, understated luxury. And standing by the window, looking out at the city, is a man. He's tall, maybe 6'3", wearing an expensive dark suit. His shoulders are broad, his posture commanding. His skin is dark, his hair cut short with gray at the temples now, though he can't be older than late 30s. When he turns to face them, Min-Seo understands immediately why people follow him, why they fear him. Malcolm Darius Carter is handsome in the way powerful things are beautiful, dangerous, impossible to ignore. Strong features, intense dark eyes that reveal nothing and everything at once. His face could be carved from stone. But when those eyes land on Marcus, something cracks in that stone facade. "Malcolm," he breathes, and his voice breaks. Marcus stands frozen, staring. Carter takes one step forward, then stops himself. His hands clench at his sides like he's physically restraining himself from crossing the room. "You're alive," he whispers. "You're really alive." Min-Seo steps slightly in front of Marcus, protective instinct overriding everything. She speaks in English, her accent thick with emotion. "Don't come closer." Carter's eyes shift to her, and she sees him really look at her for the first time. Assessment, calculation, but also something else. Gratitude, maybe. "Mississippi Park," he says quietly. I know who you are. I've known for 6 months. Then you know he's mine, Min-Seo says, her voice steel. Legally, emotionally, in every way that matters. I know you saved him. Carter's voice is rough. I know you found him in the snow outside a hospital. I know you brought him to America, raised him, loved him. I know you gave him everything when I couldn't. His voice cracks again. And I know I can never repay that. I don't want your money, Min-Seo says. I want you to leave us alone. I can't do that. Carter's eyes move back to Marcus. He's my son, my blood, the last piece of my wife. He's my son too, Min-Seo says fiercely, switching to Korean for emphasis, then back to English. For 9 years, I've been his mother. I held him through nightmares. I taught him to read, to trust. I'm the one he calls Iyama. I know, Carter says quietly, and I'm not here to take him from you. The words hang in the air. Marcus finally speaks, his voice small. You're really my father? My biological father. Carter's eyes fill with tears. This powerful man, this alleged crime boss, stands in his expensive suit with tears streaming down his face. Yes, he whispers. Your name is Malcolm Carter Jr. Your mother was Keisha. She was beautiful, brilliant, brave. She loved you more than anything. His voice breaks. We were on vacation here in Seoul. Someone attacked our hotel room. Your mother, she died protecting you. And you disappeared. I thought they killed you too. I've been searching for 9 years. Marcus's hand tightens on Min-Seo's. I don't remember any of it. You were 4 years old. It's probably better that you don't remember. What do you want from us? Min-Seo asks, her voice shaking. Carter wipes his eyes, and the vulnerability disappears behind that controlled mask again. To talk, to explain, and to warn you you're both in danger. Mwora, Min-Seo's heart drops. What? Sit down, Carter says. Please, this is going to take a while. They sit, Min-Seo and Marcus on one couch, Carter in a chair across from them, maintaining distance. 9 years ago, Carter begins, my wife and I brought Malcolm here to Seoul for vacation. Keisha had always wanted to visit Korea, learn about the culture. We stayed at the Grand Hyatt. On our 4th night, someone broke into our suite. His jaw tightens. It wasn't a random attack. It was orchestrated. Someone from within my organization hired Korean operatives to eliminate my family. Why? Marcus asks quietly. Carter looks at his son. Really looks at him, and Min-Seo sees the war happening behind his eyes. How much to tell, how much truth a 13-year-old can handle. I run an organization, he says finally. Not all of it is legal. Most of it isn't. I inherited it from my father, who inherited it from his father. It's about power, territory, money. He meets Marcus's eyes. It's about things I'm not proud of. You're a criminal, Marcus says. Not a question. Yes. The honesty seems to surprise Marcus. Min-Seo feels him processing, thinking. Someone in your organization wanted you gone, Min-Seo says. So they attacked your family. Yes, they killed Keisha. They took Malcolm, probably planning to kill him later, make it look like he died in the attack. But somehow he escaped. Or maybe they lost him in the chaos. I don't know. Carter's hands clench. I searched for 2 years. Korean police, private investigators, federal agents. Nothing. Eventually, I had to accept he was gone. But he wasn't, Min-Seo says quietly. No, he was with you. Safe. Loved. Carter looks at her with something like reverence. You gave him a life I never could have given him. Normal, peaceful, good. So why find us now? Min-Seo asks. Why after all these years? Because 6 months ago, one of my people was in Chicago on business. He saw a boy playing basketball, wearing a silver pendant with my family symbol. He took photos, showed them to me. Carter pulls out his phone and shows them a zoomed photo of Marcus at a basketball game, the pendant visible around his neck. I knew immediately. Same eyes as Keisha, same chin as my father, same pendant I put around his neck when he was born. Marcus touches the pendant under his shirt unconsciously. I had you investigated. Carter continues, looking at Min-Seo. Your background, your work history, everything. I needed to know if this was real, if you were connected to my enemies, if it was a trap. And Min-Seo's voice is cold. And I found exactly what you are. A nurse who saved a child because that's who you are. Not for money, not for leverage. Just because a child needed help. Something shifts in Carter's expression. Do you have any idea how rare that is? In my world, every kindness has strings attached. But you're exactly what you appear to be. I did what anyone should do, Min-Seo says. But most people don't. Carter leans forward. Which brings me to why you're in danger. The person who orchestrated the attack 9 years ago. His name is Raymond Lewis. He was my second in command. He's been consolidating power for years. And when he discovers Malcolm is alive, he'll try again. Min-Seo finishes, her blood running cold. Yes, he'll finish what he started. And he'll kill you too. Because you're a witness, a connection. Carter's voice is urgent. I've been trying to keep your location quiet, but someone within my organization saw Marcus in Seoul. They recognized him. They've reported to Lewis. He knows you're here. As if summoned by his words, Carter's phone buzzes. He looks at it and his face hardens. We need to leave, he says, standing. Now, Lewis's people are moving. They know which hotel you're staying at. Min-Seo's mind races. Jong-mal? Really? How do you know? Because I have people monitoring Lewis's communications. He sent a team to your hotel 15 minutes ago. Carter's voice is urgent. Mississippi Park. I know you don't trust me. I know you have no reason to. But right now, I'm the only thing standing between Malcolm and the people who killed his mother. Min-Seo stands, pulling Marcus up with her. Her nursing instincts kick in, assess, prioritize, act. What do you want us to do? Come with me. I have a secure location. We get Malcolm safe. Then we figure out the rest. And Min-Seo shakes her head. I don't know you. I don't trust you. For all I know, this is your way of taking him. Carter's jaw tightens. If I wanted to take him, Mississippi Park, I could have done it 6 months ago. I could have had my people pick him up in Chicago, and you'd never have seen him again. He meets her eyes. But I didn't. Because he chose you. Because you're his mother in every way that matters. I'm not trying to take him away. I'm trying to keep you both alive. Min-Seo's phone rings. She looks at the screen, Detective Washington. Her heart pounds as she answers. Yobaseo? Hello? Mississippi Park. Where are you? Washington's voice is tight, urgent. Seoul. Why? Listen to me carefully. We've intercepted communications. There's a hit ordered on you and the boy. The team is moving now. Are you at your hotel? No, we're... Min-Seo looks at Carter. We're with Malcolm Carter. A pause. Is he the one who contacted you? His people, yes. Another pause. Mississippi Park. I know this is going to sound insane, but right now, Malcolm Carter might be the safest person for you to be with. He's been cooperating with our investigation for months. He wants out of the life, wants to protect his son. The real threat is Raymond Lewis. The detective agrees with me, Carter says quietly, clearly hearing Washington's voice. Put him on, Washington says. Min-Seo hands the phone to Carter. Detective, Carter says, his voice clipped and professional. Yes, I have them. No, the peninsula, too exposed. I'm thinking the safe house in Itaewon. A pause. 45 minutes. Understood. He hands the phone back to Min-Seo. Mississippi Park, Washington says. I'm catching the next flight out. Should be there in 14 hours. Until then, stay with Carter. He's got resources we don't have in Seoul. And Mississippi Park. Keep that boy safe. The line goes dead. Min-Seo looks at Marcus. He's pale but composed, processing everything with that sharp intelligence she's nurtured for 9 years. Iyama, he says quietly in Korean. I think we should go with him, just for now. Marcus. I know it's scary. I'm scared too. His English is clear, mature beyond his years. But if people are really coming, we need protection. And Marcus looks at Carter. He's my father. My biological father. I need to know him. I need to understand where I came from. Min-Seo's heart breaks and mends at the same time. This boy, this young man is so brave, so wise. Afro-Seoul, she whispers. Okay. Then to Carter. But understand this. You try anything, you try to separate us, you try to take him from me. I will fight you with everything I have. I wouldn't expect anything less, Carter says. Now let's move. They leave through a service exit. Carter's people have 2 cars waiting, one as a decoy, one for them. They take the second car, a dark sedan with tinted windows. Carter drives. Min-Seo and Marcus sit in the back, her arm around him protectively. They navigate through Seoul traffic. Min-Seo watches everything, memorizing the route, looking for anything suspicious. Tell me about him, Carter says after a long silence, his eyes meeting Min-Seo's in the rearview mirror. Tell me about who he became while I wasn't there. Min-Seo hesitates. This man is a stranger, a criminal, potentially dangerous. But he's also Marcus's father. And she sees genuine hunger in his eyes. Not for power or control, but for connection, for knowledge of his son. So she tells him everything. Marcus's first words after months of silence. His love of drawing and basketball. His fear of thunderstorms and how she sits with him during storms, teaching him breathing exercises. His terrible jokes that make her laugh because hearing him laugh is everything. He's brilliant, she says, her hand on Marcus's shoulder. Top of his class. He wants to be an architect. He draws buildings constantly. Neo mu yepio. So beautiful, so detailed. He got that from Keisha, Carter says quietly. She was an artist, painter. She saw beauty in everything. Marcus leans forward slightly. What else was she like? Carter's hands tighten on the wheel. When he speaks, his voice is thick with emotion. She was kind, like genuinely kind to everyone. Didn't matter who you were. Homeless person on the street or CEO in a boardroom. She treated everyone with dignity. He glances in the mirror. She had this laugh that could light up a whole room. And she loved you. Man, she loved you so much. Used to sing to you every night. Lauryn Hill, Stevie Wonder. Old gospel songs her grandmother taught her. I don't remember her, Marcus says. And Min-Seo hears the ache in his voice. You were so young. But she's in you. I can see it. That kindness Mississippi Park mentioned. That's all Keisha. They drive in silence for a while. The city lights blur past. Min-Seo holds Marcus close, feeling the tremor in his body. Not fear exactly, but the weight of too much information, too much change. Why didn't you look harder? Marcus asks suddenly. Why did you give up? Carter flinches like he's been struck. I didn't give up. I searched for 2 years straight. Korean police, FBI, private investigators, rewards. I had people checking every orphanage, every hospital, every foster system in Korea and America. His voice breaks. But you were with Mississippi Park. She'd taken you to America through proper channels. You had a new name, new identity. You'd disappeared into a normal life. There was no trail to follow. You said someone in your organization ordered the attack, Min-Seo says. This Raymond Lewis. Why? Power. Control. The usual reasons. Carter's jaw tightens. My father ran the Pride for 30 years. When he died, I inherited everything. But I wanted things to change. Less violence, more legitimate business. Lewis thought I was weak, that I was betraying my father's legacy. He's been building his own faction for years. And killing your family was supposed to what? Force you out? Min-Seo asks. Break me. Make me vulnerable. Prove I couldn't protect what was mine. Carter's voice goes cold. It worked, in a way. After I lost Keisha and Malcolm, I shut down. Became cold, ruthless. Gave Lewis exactly what he thought he wanted. A leader without weakness, without mercy. But now Marcus is back, Min-Seo says, understanding. Which changes everything. Yes, if Lewis kills Malcolm, he eliminates my heir, my reason to change. If he keeps Malcolm alive as leverage, He controls me. Carter meets her eyes in the mirror. Either way, he wins. Unless what? Unless I end this. All of it. The organization, the violence, everything. Carter's voice is quiet but firm. I've been working with Detective Washington for 8 months. Building a case, gathering evidence. After tonight, I'm done. Lewis goes down. The pride gets dismantled. And I disappear. And Marcus? Min-Seo asks. Where does he fit in your plan? Carter is quiet for a long moment. That's not up to me. That's up to him. And you. They arrive at a nondescript building in Itaewon. Carter parks in an underground garage, checks his surroundings carefully before letting them out. The safe house is on the 4th floor. It's modern, clean, secure. Floor-to-ceiling windows with bulletproof glass. Multiple exits. Security cameras. You'll be safe here, Carter says, checking the locks. My people are watching the building. Lewis's team won't find you. Min-Seo explores the space with her nurse's eye for detail. 2 bedrooms, a kitchen, a living area. Everything they need. Marcus stands by the window, looking out at Seoul's nightscape. He's quiet, processing. Carter approaches him slowly, keeping distance. I know this is overwhelming. I have so many questions, Marcus says quietly. I'll answer anything you want to know. Do I have other family? Grandparents? Cousins? Your mother's parents are in Atlanta. They think you're dead. Carter's voice cracks. They'll be over the moon when they find out you're alive. And your side? My father's dead. My mother's in a nursing home, dementia. But I have a younger sister, your aunt, Jasmine. She lives in New York. She's a doctor, actually. Pediatrician. Carter smiles slightly. She's going to lose her mind when she meets you. Marcus absorbs this. Family. Real biological family he never knew existed. I'm scared. Marcus says suddenly, honestly. That's smart. You should be scared. Carter moves closer, and Min-Seo tenses. But Carter just stands beside Marcus, both of them looking out at the city. Brave doesn't mean not scared. It means being scared and doing what you have to do anyway. Your mom taught you that, right? Marcus nods. She did good, Carter says softly. Raised you right. Raised you better than I could have. Min-Seo watches them. Father and son, separated by 9 years and a world of choices, standing together for the first time Marcus can remember. Her phone buzzes. A text from Detective Washington. Status? She texts back. Secure. Safe house in Itaewon. Waiting. His response is immediate. Stay put. Lewis's people tracked to your hotel. 3 men in custody. Interrogation underway. This ends tonight. Min-Seo shows the text to Carter. He nods grimly. Good. Washington's thorough. If anyone can end this, it's him. And then what? Min-Seo asks. After tonight. After Lewis is arrested. What happens to us? Carter looks at her fully for the first time since they arrived. That depends on what you want. What Malcolm wants. His name is Marcus, Min-Seo says firmly. He's been Marcus for 9 years. Marcus, Carter corrects himself. What does Marcus want? They both look at the boy by the window. He turns to face them, and Min-Seo sees his mother's face. The woman she never met. In the set of his jaw, the intelligence in his eyes. I want to know you, Marcus says to Carter. I want to understand where I came from, who my mother was, what my biological family is like. He looks at Min-Seo. But Iyama is my mom. That doesn't change. Ever. I wouldn't want it to, Carter says. And I want to go home, Marcus continues. To Chicago. That's where I live. Where my friends are. My school. My life. Yuri, Min-Seo says, her heart swelling. Yes. But I want you in my life too, Marcus says to Carter. If you really mean it. If you're really getting out of whatever you're in. Carter crosses the room and kneels in front of his son. They're eye to eye now. I swear to you on your mother's memory, I'm done. After tonight, I cooperate fully with the investigation. I testify against everyone, including people who were my father's friends. The pride ends, and I start over. As what? Marcus asks. As your father. As someone trying to be better. Carter's voice is raw, honest. I can't change what I was. I can't undo the things I've done. But I can try to be someone you're not ashamed of. I'm not ashamed, Marcus says quietly. I don't even know you yet. But Iyama taught me that people can change, that it's never too late to choose different. Carter looks at Min-Seo with something like wonder. You raised him right. I raised him with love, Min-Seo says. That's all children really need. They spend the night in the safe house. Carter sleeps on the couch. Min-Seo and Marcus share one bedroom. She's not letting him out of her sight. At 3:47 a.m., Carter's phone rings. He answers immediately, listens, then his whole body relaxes. They got him, he says quietly. Washington's team arrested Lewis at Incheon Airport. He was trying to flee to Hong Kong. 3 of his top people in custody too. It's over. Min-Seo exhales breath she didn't know she was holding. Jinja. Really? Really? Washington wants to see us tomorrow, take statements. But the immediate threat is gone. For the first time in hours, Min-Seo allows herself to feel relief. The next morning, Detective Washington arrives at the safe house. He looks exhausted but satisfied. Lewis is in custody, he confirms. We have him on multiple charges, conspiracy to commit murder, racketeering, money laundering. His people are flipping on each other trying to cut deals. He looks at Carter. Your testimony is going to seal it. Whatever you need, Carter says. Washington turns to Min-Seo and Marcus. I need statements from both of you. Everything from the night you found him, Mississippi Park, to yesterday. It's going to be a long process. We understand, Min-Seo says. They spend hours giving statements, going through every detail. By evening, Washington seems satisfied. You can go home, he tells them. Back to Chicago. We'll need you to testify eventually. But for now, you're free to return to your lives. What about him? Marcus asks, gesturing to Carter. Mr. Carter has agreed to full cooperation. He'll be in protective custody during the trial preparation. After that, Washington looks at Carter. After that, he gets to start over. The next day, they prepare to fly back to Chicago. Carter drives them to the airport. In the departure terminal, the 3 of them stand in an awkward triangle. What happens now? Marcus asks. Carter pulls out his phone. This is a new number. Clean, not connected to anything from before. I'll call when I can. When the trial's over, when I'm free, I'll come to Chicago. If you'll see me. We'll see you, Marcus says. Carter's eyes fill with tears. He looks at Min-Seo. Thank you. For everything. For saving him, loving him, raising him. For giving him a life worth living. He saved me too, Min-Seo says softly. We saved each other. Carter kneels in front of Marcus. I know I haven't earned the right to ask, but can I hug you? Just once. Marcus doesn't hesitate. He steps forward into his father's arms. Carter holds him like he's afraid he'll disappear again. His shoulders shake with silent sobs. Marcus holds on just as tight. I love you, Carter whispers. I never stopped loving you. Not one day in 9 years. I know, Marcus says. I believe you. When they finally pull apart, Carter wipes his eyes. He looks at Min-Seo. Take care of our son. Dangyeon Haji, she says. Of course. Always. They board the plane. Marcus sits by the window, Min-Seo beside him. As the plane takes off, Marcus looks out at Seoul disappearing below. You okay? Min-Seo asks in Korean. Yeah, he says in English. It's weird. I have 2 families now. Gyuri. Yes, you do. Is that okay? Can I love you both? Min-Seo takes his hand. Love isn't a limited resource. Nay sarung. My love. The more you give, the more you have. Your father and I, we both love you. That just means you're twice as loved. Marcus leans his head on her shoulder. I'm glad you found me, Iyama. Me too, baby. Me too. If you're feeling this story deep in your heart, subscribe for more stories like this. Stories about the families we choose, the healing we create, and the way love can bridge any divide. 8 months pass like water through open fingers. Malcolm Carter's trial dominates the news. His testimony dismantles the pride completely. Raymond Lewis gets 30 years. Dozens of others go to prison. Carter keeps his word. He cooperates fully, holds nothing back. The prosecutors offer him immunity in exchange for his testimony. When the trial ends, he's a free man. Free, but starting from nothing. He calls Marcus every Sunday. They talk for hours about school, basketball, architecture, life. Carter tells stories about Keisha, about Marcus's grandmother, about family history. Slowly, carefully, they build a relationship. In late summer, Carter moves to Chicago. Not to interfere, just to be close. He gets a small apartment in Lincoln Park. He gets a legitimate job working construction. Honest work. Clean work. Every Wednesday, he comes to dinner. Min-Seo cooks, sometimes Korean food, sometimes soul food Carter teaches her to make. They eat together, this unusual family, and talk about normal things. Marcus thrives. He's 14 now, starting high school. Still brilliant, still kind, still choosing good despite everything he's been through. One Saturday, Carter shows up with paperwork. He and Min-Seo sit at the kitchen table while Marcus is at basketball practice. "What's this?" Min-Seo asks. "Legal documents. I want to make it official, joint custody, equal parenting rights, both our names on everything." Carter slides the papers across. "You saved him, raised him. You're his mother. I want that recognized legally, permanently." Tears fill Min-Seo's eyes. "Jiang Malo? Really? Really? I'm not trying to take him from you. I'm asking if we can share him. Raise him together. Give him both his worlds." Min-Seo reads through the documents. They're fair, generous even. Equal custody, equal decision-making. Both names on school records, medical records, everything. "Horacio," she whispers. "I understand. Yes, let's do this." They sign the papers together. When Marcus comes home from practice, they tell him, "So you're both my parents now? Like officially?" He asks. "Officially," Carter confirms. "Both names on my birth certificate?" "Both names," Min-Seo says. Marcus grins. "Cool. Does this mean I get twice as many birthday presents?" They all laugh. Feels good, normal, right? 3 months later, they stand in family court. Judge Patricia Morrison presides. A black woman in her 50s with warm eyes. The hearing is simple. The social worker's report is glowing. The background checks complete. Marcus's therapist submitted a letter supporting the arrangement. Judge Morrison reviews the paperwork, asks Marcus gentle questions. He answers clearly, confidently. Yes, he understands. Yes, this is what he wants. "This is highly unusual," Judge Morrison says, looking at them. A Korean-American mother who found the child in Seoul. A black father who's rebuilding his life, co-parenting equally. But I'll tell you what I see. I see 3 people who love each other, who've fought for each other, who've chosen family over biology, redemption over past mistakes. She signs the papers. "May you continue to grow together in love." They walk out as an official family. Both names on every document. Equal parents. That evening, they celebrate at home. Marcus chose the menu, bulgogi tacos, mixing both worlds. After dinner, Min-Seo pulls out a small box. "I have something for both of you." Inside are 2 pendants. Carter's original lion symbol, polished and restored, on a new chain. And a new pendant, a lion and a crane intertwined, representing both their heritages. The lion represents strength and protection. Min-Seo explains in her accented English. The crane represents peace and longevity in Korean culture. Together, they represent what we've built. Strength and peace, protection and love. She fastens the new pendant around Marcus's neck. Carter puts on his restored one. "We match," Marcus says, touching his pendant. "Yuri," Min-Seo says. "We're a family." That night, after Marcus is asleep, Min-Seo and Carter sit on the porch. "Do you ever think about that night?" Carter asks. "When you found him?" "Every day. Min-Seo wraps her cardigan tighter against the Chicago cold. All the impossible things that had to align. The timing, my grandmother's coat, me choosing to look. I think about it too, Carter says quietly. About how close I came to losing him forever. About how you saved him when I couldn't. You're saving him now, Min-Seo says. By being here, by doing the work, by choosing to be better. That's what matters. You think I can really leave it all behind? The life, the reputation, everything? I know you can. Min-Seo looks at him. Because I see you with Marcus. That's who you really are. A father who loves his son. Everything else is just noise. Carter's eyes fill with tears. Thank you for giving me this chance. For letting me be part of his life. For not shutting me out. Family doesn't shut each other out, Min-Seo says. Yuriga Gajak Aya. We're family. From inside, Marcus calls out. They both stand immediately and go to him. Bad dream? Carter asks. No. Just wanted to make sure you were both still here. Always, Min-Seo says in Korean then English. We're always here. Tell me a story? Marcus asks. About Mom, my first mom. Carter sits on one side of the bed. Min-Seo sits on the other. Together, they tell stories, Carter about Keisha, Min-Seo about her grandmother. They weave their histories together, creating a tapestry of family for this boy to wrap himself in. Love you, Iyama. Marcus murmurs, half asleep. Sarangi, Min-Seo whispers. I love you. Love you, Dad, Marcus says. I love you, son, Carter says, his voice thick. They wait until he's asleep. In the hallway, Carter takes Min-Seo's hand. Ready for tomorrow? He asks. Always, Min-Seo says. As long as we're together. They say life changes in an instant, that the smallest choices create the biggest ripples. Min-Seo Park believed that with her whole heart. She believed courage wasn't the absence of fear. It was loving someone so much you walked into darkness anyway, with nothing but faith and fierce determination. She believed family wasn't always the people you started with. Sometimes it was the people you found in the storm, the people you chose, the people who chose you back. And she believed healing was possible. Not because you forgot the pain, but because you learned to hold both, the scars and the joy, the loss and the love, the ending and the beginning. This was their story. The Korean nurse with a grandmother's coat. The black man who chose redemption. And the boy who survived everything. Imperfect, complicated, real. And it was just beginning. The three of them sit at breakfast. Winter sunlight pours through windows, turning everything golden. Marcus reads his homework aloud, switching effortlessly between English and Korean. Family means showing up. Showing up means being there even when it's hard. Especially when it's hard. Carter sets down his spatula and places his hand on Min-Seo's shoulder. She covers it with hers. You didn't just save my child, he says quietly. You saved me. You showed me what real love looks like. Min-Seo turns to look at him. This man who chose to become gentle, to become worthy, to become whole. Sometimes healing doesn't require medicine, she says softly in English, then Korean, then English again. It just requires showing up, staying, choosing love over fear. He smiles. She smiles. Marcus laughs. Outside, the sun climbs into a Chicago sky. Inside, a family sits down to breakfast. Not the family anyone predicted. Not the family biology dictated. But theirs, real and imperfect and full of second chances, built across continents and cultures and impossible odds. The quilted coat hangs by the door, ready for the next storm. But for now, the sky is clear, and they're home. They're finally completely home. If this story touched your heart, if it reminded you that love can grow from unlikely places, that families can be built across any divide, and that second chances are real, subscribe to hear more stories like this. Stories about the families we choose, the healing we create, and the way one moment of compassion can change everything. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. Until next time.